Are we good? I do not know what just happened. Because I never saw the internet icon turn off or anything. But apparently I lost internet? I'm not sure. But at least OBS did disconnect. Well, OBS was being weird. Because I was waiting for it to restart, but then, like, the streaming button literally said to start stream. But when I was clicking start stream, it was saying, are you sure you want to stop the stream? I literally had to close OBS. But hopefully we are good now. It's kind of annoying because I was probably about to end soon. As soon as, like, this little scene is done. Probably all the more reason to after that happening. I don't know where the cut happened, so... No, it would have been obvious if I'd given it any thought. She's trying to stop us from reaching Science Gate. She doesn't want this world to end. Which means she's watching not just me, but you too? Huh? Me? Well, I don't think your life is in danger. Probably. If you believe what we know about how world lines work, you live till at least 2036. But she might come to interfere with your research, so we can't reach Steins Gate. A lot of bad things had been happening around Suzuha, Itaru, and Rentaru Okabe. There was some possibility that the final target was Itaru. From now on, just to be safe, lock the door whenever I'm not around. Okay, got it. Even if Uncle Okarin, Mom, or Big Sis Mayu are here, don't leave it open. It might not help much, but make sure you use the door chain too. You know, Okarin and Mayushi are one thing, but if I did that when I was alone with Amaneshi, don't you think that'd give her the wrong idea? That's true. If that makes her not like me, my whole family could be in trouble. Suzuha groaned softly, unsure of what to do. If you'd only gotten to be her boyfriend sooner, there wouldn't be a problem. Wait, we're back to that? Just be careful, okay? Suzuha decided to keep the green Upa keychain. She softly ran her fingertips over it as she stared at it. Hey, Suzuha. Kagari-tan's not related to Mayushi, but she's still her daughter, right? That's right. Could somebody raised by Mayushi grow up to be that kind of person who'd assault someone? Well, that was before she spent almost a decade here, right? So times are different now. I just can't imagine it. From what you've told me, I'd expect her to be a kind, easygoing, and cute little girl. I wish that was what had happened. Yeah, I thought that was how she'd turn out too. But now she's probably... From what she'd seen at the radio building, she could tell. Kagari had definitely received professional combat training. Around her? It wasn't just the simple self-defense techniques that she learned from Suzuha when she was a child. As she'd grown up, she'd been taught the cold techniques of a killer. There was no way to know where she'd been. or what she'd been doing, ever since she'd gone missing in 1998. But there was no doubt in Suzuha's mind that she was trying to ruin their plans. Suzuha sighed as she took her shower. Since it was summer, she'd set the water temperature low. It was barely any hotter than tap water. As long as the water was pouring down on her, she could feel like all the bad memories were being washed away. She slapped her cheeks with both hands and turned off the water. This small, tiled room suddenly became quiet. In the silence, she vigorously toweled off her hair. This building was never intended for anyone to live in. Not only was there very little room, there wasn't even a place to change. It was small and there were no windows, and the steam from the shower room built up, making it an unpleasant sauna in summer. Supposedly, Itaru and Okabe would sit naked next to the fans to get away from the heat and moisture. Of course, that was only when the girls, as well as Luca, weren't around. But Suzuha couldn't do that. There were those huge scars on her chest. If she was careless and Yuki saw them, she'd have a big problem. So she always forced herself to change within this small space. The second she left the shower room, she realized something was wrong. The lights are off. Where did Daru go? The lights were off in the part behind the curtain, where the lab room was. She was sure she had left all the lab lights on when she'd gone to take a shower. She didn't remember turning them off. Still completely naked, she flung open the curtain. She dropped to the floor, ready to move. She could tell by the light from the shower room that there was no one else there. She didn't hear any breathing, and she didn't feel any other presence. Did Dad come back? And then when he'd left, he'd turn off the lights? No, that couldn't be right. She looked around the room and saw that things had been moved in a way that an amateur wouldn't be able to notice. Itaru's computer desk, the sofa area, the bookshelves, even the mini kitchen, someone had gone through them all. From the look of it, the same was probably true of the development room. Is it Kagari trying to get back her Upa? Suzuha glanced over all the areas where she kept her guns. The closest was the sofa that she used as a bed. She wanted to have one easily available if she was attacked while she slept, so she had cut out the back of one of the sofa cushions and hidden a suppressed semi-automatic pistol in it. Semi-automatic? What did I just say? Semi-automatic. It was just a .32 caliber for self-defense, so it wouldn't do much damage unless you had a good aim. But it was small and relatively quiet, which made it the best choice for a place like this. Suzuha tensed all of her muscles, coiling like a spring, and slowly moved towards the sofa without making a sound. As she did, she tried to notice any changes in the surrounding area. There was a small sound in the development room. It was a tiny, tiny creaking of the floor, to which you'd usually pay no mind. But that was more than enough for Suzuha. In an instant, she moved from quiet to action. She cleared the distance of the sofa in an instant, and quickly drew her gun. She held it ready and slipped into the shadow of the refrigerator. From this position, she could barely see into the development room. That's totally her, isn't it? I mean, there's only one other person it could be. The room became silent again. But this time, the intruder in the other room didn't try to hide their presence. Try anything, and I'll shoot. Hands on your head. Come out slowly. Suzuha threatened the intruder in a low voice, but the intruder seemed completely unconcerned as they exposed themselves to Suzuha's gaze. Okay, it's definitely not the other one, so it's definitely got to be Kagari then, right? You must be pretty hot wearing that in this weather. Why not at least take off your helmet? The intruder was wearing a motorcycle suit, just like before. Even the helmet was the same. The leather suit clung tight to their skin, revealing a voluptuous and perfectly proportioned body. It was clearly a woman. You don't know that. What you're looking for isn't there. It's in my pocket. Suzuha pointed towards the entrance to the shower room. The shirt she'd just taken off was lying there on the floor. The girl in the motorcycle suit turned her head, but because the face mask was down, Suzuha couldn't read her expression. Hello, Aniel. Welcome in. Thanks for your daily check-in. Does that mean... weren't you streaming? No? No, I guess not. I guess I was thinking of someone else. No, not yet? Ah, okay, I see. Good, so I haven't missed my streak then. I'm doing good. Just chilling with some more STEINS Gate. How are you today? You should know better than to drop that. It's something Mommy gave you.
Kagari.
Right, Kagari. Oh shit. The second she spoke, Kagari Shiina was the first to move. She drew a gloss military knife that she must have been hiding behind her back, and closed the gap between herself and Suzuha in an instant. Suzuha pointed the gun at her legs and pulled the trigger, carefully aiming away from her vitals. You probably should have just shot her. Procrastinating? I see. I should work, but I don't. Kind of bad. Yeah, it'd be like that. I feel like that all the time. That's why it's a miracle I've made it to 187 for streaming. She heard the small pop of a suppressed .32 and saw Kagari lose her balance and fall. Or she thought she did, but it was a feint. She'd only pretended to lose her balance. In fact, she changed directions and was heading for the shower room. It seemed her first goal was to get what she'd come for. Huh? After firing only one shot, Suzuha realized. Even a .32 should have more recoil than this. She switched her gun? She fired again, but Kagari didn't flinch even for a moment. A blank? How? At some point, all the bullets in Suzuha's gun had been swapped with blanks. That instant's panic was all it took. Kagari reached out for the shirt on the floor in front of the shower room. No way! Suzuha gave up on firing and flung the gun at Kagari. There was a dull thud as the hard barrel slammed into her neck. Ow. Caught off balance, she staggered before she could grab the shirt. Well, I guess she's grown up now. She could hear Kagari's voice for the first time from within the helmet. Suzuha jumped. She kicked the off-balance Kagari as hard as she could with her toned, muscled legs. This was no time to hold back. Kagari went flying all the way to the edge of the room. That had to have broken a few ribs. Suzuha jumped toward her to continue her attack. But with terrifying speed, Kagari leapt off the ground and charged at Suzuha. There wasn't enough time to come to a full stop. Did she just stab you? I hope not. Ooh, a sharp blade swept by, mere centimeters from her exposed abdomen. If she pulled back even a few tenths of a second later, the knife would have fatally sliced open her gut. You bitch! The blood rushed to Suzuha's head. Kagari was serious. She was planning to kill her. There was no hesitation in her movements. Suzuha leapt back and searched for something she could use as a weapon. But the other guns were probably no different. There was a good chance they'd all had their ammo swapped with blanks too. It was even possible that all her self-defense knives had been taken too. Which left... There were several knives carefully stored in the kitchen. Yuki had brought them over to use in teaching the other girls how to cook. But Kagari had evidently noticed them as well, and she was moving to keep Suzuha from reaching them. Huh? Looks like you've had a lot of practice. It's hard to believe you're the same girl who spent all her time sobbing inside the time machine. I'm surprised. Suzuha kept her distance from Kagari as she slowly moved along the wall. Her competitive drive burned even brighter as she tried to come up with a way to overcome her disadvantage. Here, Kagari. This is what you're after, right? She picked up her shirt from in front of the shower room and took the green keychain out of its pockets. What's wrong? Come get it. Her fingers moved as if to crush it. She could see Kagari twitch. For the first time, she could detect a hint of emotion behind the helmet. And in an instant, she threw it at Kagari's stomach. The keychain flew in a slow arc, like she was tossing it to a friend. If something they loved was thrown like that, even the fiercest warrior would instinctively reach out both hands to grab it. Kagari was no exception. She carefully held her mother's memento in both her empty left hand and the right hand that still clutched the knife. Using the slow arc of the keychain as camouflage, Suzuha ran at her in a straight line. Her right fist connected hard with Kagari's stomach. Then her left arm smashed Kagari's head to the side. Kagari's body fell to the ground, her right shoulder taking the brunt of the fall. Suzuha could hear the sound of her joint dislocating. Ooh. The knife slipped from her grasp. Oh, you're naked. Right. He came out of the shower and right. Suzuha got behind her and mounted her, twisting her right arm mercilessly. Hey, Shadow, welcome in. Good timing, Shadow, apparently. At the same time, she slipped her own left arm around Kagari's neck and squeezed hard. I did a scene. She could hear something like a moan from Kagari's throat. She could both hear and feel the bones in her arm and neck cracking. Stay put. I'm not gonna kill you. But Kagari picked up the knife on the floor with her left hand, and once again tried to use it on Suzuha. Suzuha was forced to squeeze her arm and neck even harder. Can we get away from this scene, please? Stop it, Kagari. I understand how you feel now, but it's wrong. It's wrong. But Kagari didn't stop. If anything, she tried even harder to pull Suzuha away. What kind of training did she get? Even in all the battles she'd been in, this much pressure on two different spots was enough to get even the toughest soldier to submit or fall unconscious. Terrified, Suzuha squeezed even harder. At this rate, she wouldn't simply knock her out. She really would kill Kagari. But if she stopped, Kagari would kill her. What should she do? Big sis Suzuha, it hurts. It hurts. And then she heard a sad, weak voice from inside the helmet. Don't fall for it. It startled her. And she relaxed both her arms, you idiot. But that was just what Kagari had hoped for. The knife came very close to cutting Suzuha's left arm. Also, where are these scars you said were on her body? I just realized. When she let go to dodge it, Kagari shook her off and kicked at her hips with both legs. Suzuha was slammed back hard into the computer desk, and for a moment she couldn't breathe. She fell to the floor, and the printer in motion crashed mercilessly into her naked body. You could have just said body. She forced herself to stand up, gasping hard as she did so. Kagari's breathing was heavy, too. Her right arm was pointed at an impossible direction and hanging limp. Well, you did something to her at least. She wouldn't be able to use it for a while, probably. But her left arm was still holding the knife. You've learned some dirty tricks, haven't you? Suzuha glared at Kagari's face. Not that she could see what it looked like behind that helmet. The two of them fell silent as they tried to catch their breath. The tension in the air was so thick that it was difficult to move a muscle. Sweat rolled down her forehead and into her eyes, but she still didn't blink as she waited for Kagari to make her next move. Can you just leave, Kagari? It was the sound of the front door opening that broke their stalemate. Oh no. I was thinking about what if, like, Daru came back. Hey, Suzuha! Did I just hear a loud noise? Suzuha felt a chill run down her spine when she heard Itaro's voice. Huh? Why is it so dark? No, Dad! Stay back! She yelled at the exact same instant he turned on the lights. The sudden brightness was enough to make Suzuha flinch for an instant. Kagari was wearing a full-face helmet, and that made all the difference. She leapt towards Itaru just a moment before Suzuha. Kagari's black knife went up to his throat. Dad! Kagari spun around behind him, using Itaro's huge body as a shield. Suzuha staggered toward him, gritting her teeth. Let go, Kagari. Lay one finger on Dad. And I don't care who you are, Kagari. I'll kill you. She left? Why, because she knew she couldn't do anything? But Kagari remained silent as she headed outside the door with her hostage. Oh, never mind. And then, in the next moment, she shoved him forward. Itaru lost his balance and fell towards Suzuha. Suzuha fell to the ground underneath his weight. Itaru just barely managed to support himself with his arms and legs to keep from crushing her. Move! Suzuha tried to shove him off, using a little more force than she may have intended. But Itaru was so huge it would take him a moment to get up. This is why I told you to lose weight! What? She was getting away. She somehow managed to crawl out from under him, and quickly tried to follow after Kagari, You are still naked, woman. Suzuha, wear this! Itaru was still lying on the ground as he tossed the naked Suzuha her shirt. She grabbed it and quickly put it on, then ran outside. But when she looked around the street, the girl in the motorcycle leathers wasn't there. There was no way to even know where she'd gone. She got away. It would be dangerous to run around trying to find her now. There was a chance Itaru would be attacked while she wasn't at the lab. What was that? Kagari-tan? Itaru came outside as well. Yeah, I'm almost certain. I see. So this is how it's going to be with the two of us in the end. The bruises and wounds were bad enough, but the pain that ached in her heart was the worst of all. You know, I really did like her. Yeah. She was small, but so brave. And she always did her best to protect Big Sis Mayu. And I taught her a lot. I thought of her as like a little sister. Yeah. But now, she's completely my enemy. Itaru straightened up her shirt. Itaru straightened up her shirt sleeves. All good, Shadow. Oh, so you didn't hear any of that. Well, this is a game about time travel, and the one that was naked has come from the future to change the future because World War III happened, and it's a horrible dystopian future. I was distracted by your stream and suddenly my entire team was drowned. Ah, I see. And the other person that she was on top of is also from the future that she lost further back in the past that is now grown up because she was a child when they were together. She has now grown up and is trying to kill Suzu, or stop Suzu at least, because she does not want the future to change. So she came in while Suzu was taking a shower in order to grab something that she wanted back. And Suzu finished her shower and came out and realized something was wrong, and that whole situation went down. Basically, they're both trained killers. And that's the gist of it. Also, thanks for your daily check-in. No complaints on my end. I mean, it's fair. You know, you look like a slutty girl in an H game right now, Suzuha. So the guy who just said that is her father. Or at least her future father. Huh? What? Suzuha was caught completely off guard. True, her t-shirt only came down to just below her hips, roughly the length of a miniskirt. Her breasts were almost completely bared. The shirt's hem was turned up, and she felt exposed. Okay. Well, I don't mind H games with slutty girls. And I don't think the whole naked except for a t-shirt thing is all that bad. You're being silly again. You could have gotten badly hurt. Oh, she saw right through him. But Itaru shook his head. I got freaked out by the knife, but I don't think I really needed to be that scared. Unless I'm mistaken. Itaru rubbed the part of his neck where the knife blade was. When she had the knife to my throat, I could hear it, just a little. Hear what? She was probably crying. crying under that helmet? After that whole battle with Suzuha? While holding a knife to Utaru's neck? But why? So, don't you think it's too early to jump to conclusions? Dad. Hmm? Did you buy me that vanilla ice cream? Yeah, of course. I'd love to eat it. I'm a little tired. And then she almost fell forward. Itaru managed to catch her before she hit the ground. Hey! Hey, Suzuha! I'm fine. But let me rest a little. That was all she had the energy to say. She closed her eyes on her dad's arms, and her consciousness melted away. And since we are switching scenes, I can call it there. So let's save. We shall save here, whatever, sure. And then I'm going to skip ahead to a character being on screen so I can get a good thumbnail. Can I get them both together? I'll take it, whatever, it's fine. Alrighty. So I shall mute the game. Alright, we'll call it there. I will do this again Saturday. So thank you everyone for hanging out with me. Those who are in chat and those who are just lurking. I appreciate it. It's always good to have you guys with me. I will find someone to raid. So in the meantime, raid message 1 for followers. Raid message 2 for subscribers. I blanked for a moment. So I hope you all have a good morning, day, or night, whatever time it is for you guys, and I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, everyone.
In a room where shadows loom,
Oh, you know what? Let's read Shadow.
a man sits deep in gloom, with a pen held tight in hand, sketching dreams that understand. Walls may close, the night may fall, but his spirit stands tall.
I wasn't going to say anything, Kai, but apparently you realized. Thank you for your daily check-in.
Where dreams are free. With a pen he built his dreams, turning silence into streams. In his mind he's never alone, crafting realms he calls his own. Paper whispers, secrets told, journeys inked in black and bold. Mountains climb or rivers bend, in the world that he can mend. He may be confined and still, yet his heart is wild with thrill. Through each line a sky so wide, in his world he takes a ride. Every sigh is painted bright, stars that gleam in darkest night. With the pen his spirit sings, soaring high on high.